What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be breaking down UFC Fight Night, Derrick Lewis versus Sergey Spivak. You guys are going to want to tune in tomorrow night. It's at 1 a.m. It's a very late fight night card, but make sure you guys are tuning in because the main event is a cracker of a fight. You guys are going to want to see it. I'm telling you, a lot of people are clowning on this card, and I'll admit I'll be the first one to admit it. You guys saw my last video. I'm not the biggest fan of this fight night card. This main event should not be a main event. Okay, it's not normally a main event. Obviously, the main event of this fight night fell through. It's supposed to be the Korean Zombie fighting in Seoul, South Korea. That is obviously not what we are left with today. But we are still left with a good fight, nonetheless, even though it probably should not be a main event. It's Sergey Spivak versus Derrick Lewis. Okay, now this fight, if you don't remember, it was supposed to go down in November of 2022, and that's when obviously Derrick Lewis had to pull out of the fight due to something wrong with his stomach. I don't know. We still don't know what happened to this day. They had to replace it. The co-main event, Ian Cutelaba, got moved up to the main event of the card. Anyways, we're still here, and we got Derrick Lewis versus Sergey Spivak. It's an incredible fight, man. Derrick Lewis is obviously a legend. He's 26-10, 21 knockouts. He has the most knockouts in heavyweight history. Okay, he's on a 2-fight losing streak. Obviously, his last loss is to Sergey Pavlovich. Right before that, he lost to Tai Tuivasa. 2 knockout losses in a row. Derrick Lewis isn't known for having the greatest chin. He got knocked out by Sergey. He got knocked out by JDS. He got knocked out by Tai Tuivasa. He's been getting knocked out in these fights. Sergey Pavlovich, he's been getting knocked out in these fights. Okay, so Derrick Lewis does not have a great chin. As much as people clown on his cardio, he's been KO'd 7 times. He's only lost a decision twice. He's been submitted once. He gets finished more than he gets to decision. That's 2 decisions and 8 finishes on a Black Beast. He has 10 losses, and out of those, 8 are finishes. Okay, he gets finished more than anything. So if you're going to bet on a decision for Sergey Spivak, I would not do that because Sergey Spivak has big power. This is the heavyweight division. There's a knockout either way, you guys. There's a knockout incoming either way. Sergey Spivak obviously is coming off of that fight against Augusto Sakai, where he knocked him out in the very first round. Or I think that fight was the second round. But right before that, he knocked out Greg Hardy in the first round and retired him. That was a great fight. Then right before that, he lost to Tom Aspinall. But out of that, man, he's won 5 out of his last 6 fights. He's on a 2-fight win streak. All the odds are pointing towards Sergey Spivak. He's got 7 KOs, 6 submissions. You know what I mean? He's got everything. He's well-rounded. He's knocking people out just as much as he's submitting them. He's got a good ground game. He's got good grappling. He's got good, he's got good striking. He's got better striking than Derrick Lewis. He's got better grappling than Derrick Lewis. He's got better cardio than Derrick Lewis. But he has been KO'd. Of his 3 losses, 2 come by way of knockout. Okay, so he has been KO'd. Tom Aspinall obviously is the latest man to do that. That was all the way back in 2021, though. That was on the Darren Till, Derek Brunson card. Okay, so that was a while ago now. He's had 2 fights since then. He's looked great and gotten finishes in both of them. And we're in for a good fight, okay? That sets the scene. That sets the scene for our fight and our upcoming clash. Obviously, Derrick Lewis, he's a great fighter. And he's a legendary fighter, honestly, because he's had so many legendary moments from all his post-fight, mic moments. That's what he's known for. He's known for that, and he's known for being the KO king, and he has crazy power. And now that Francis Ngannou has left the UFC, even with Francis Ngannou in the UFC, Derrick Lewis might just be the hardest hitter inside the UFC. He's got the most knockouts in UFC history, man. You cannot deny this dude, okay? So if anybody goes out there and counts out Derrick Lewis, man, it is crazy. So the betting odds have Derrick Lewis as a big underdog in this fight. He's about a plus 180, and Sergey Spivak's about a minus 220 in this fight card. So it's very, it's very skewed for Sergey Spivak. People, after Derrick Lewis's past performances where he's been KO'd in about 50 seconds, less than a minute by Sergey Pavlovich, and then in that KO'd very brutally by Tai Tuivasa, who then lost to Sergey, it's just not looking great. The Tai Tuivasa loss is not looking good for Derrick Lewis at all. But then, the Curtis, the Sergey fight, that fight is very acceptable. You know what I mean? He's fighting the guy who's fighting John Jones, so that's an acceptable loss. And Sergey Pavlovich, that's an acceptable loss because you saw what he did to Tai Tuivasa. That dude on his own has been on a run. Sergey Pavlovich is a huge contender at heavyweight. But as for Derrick Lewis, man, he's not looked great in his last 2 fights. He's been without a win since 2021. We have not seen a Derrick Lewis win since 2021 when he KO'd Chris Dawkins in the first round of their fight. If you guys don't remember that, he won that one. That was his rebound fight right after losing to Cyril Gane. And right before the Cyril Gane fight, if you don't remember, he got that big KO win over Curtis Blades, which got him the title shot. That's a very good win, man. If you're just going by people that he's KO'd, he's got incredible KO wins. He really does. You know, there's just so many KO wins. You could go back and just look at all of them. He's got, just go look at him. He's the KO king. He's been knocking everybody out. He's got amazing KOs, so he's always in the fight. You know what I mean? If you remember that fight, let me see where it was. He fought, it was on the UFC 229 card when he fought Alexander Volkov, man. That was an incredible fight where he was losing, and in the last 20 seconds, he pulled it out of the fire and KO'd Alexander Volkov. And it was one of the biggest turnarounds in MMA history, and he changed the tide with 20 seconds left. One of the biggest comebacks in UFC history. So if you guys do not think Derrick Lewis can win this fight, you're crazy. Also, Derrick Lewis is the big underdog, and there's good underdog money on Derrick Lewis because you can never count him out. You know what I mean? If he fought John Bone Jones, you could never count him out because he might just hit that shot. But then again, there's not that much skill or technique involved with Derrick Lewis. You know what I mean? Sergey Spivak is going to have the technical advantage on Derrick Lewis. But Derrick Lewis has that technical power. So give me Derrick Lewis. I think that he's going to be able to KO Sergey Spivak, guys. This might be a crazy pick, but I'm rocking with the underdog, man. There's good underdog money on Derrick Lewis. And if you're counting him out, he's got crazy KO power, as I've discussed. You know what I mean? You cannot count this man out. He could KO anybody. You put him in there, he can KO anybody. Don't count this man out. Put your bets on Derrick Lewis. Go make yourself some money. I'm just joking. That's not real betting advice. Don't go do that. Don't trust my decisions with that. But I really do think that Derrick Lewis is going to win this fight. And let me know what you guys think. I want to see who you guys think is going to win this fight. I'm very excited for tomorrow night. Let me know. Peace out.